another episode of the PMD Tea Buyers Club. I'm your host, Andre Silva. It's been a long time. I think it's been about at least a month, hasn't it? Since, no, maybe even 2 months. No, about a month and a half, but either way, it's been a long time. We've been pretty busy. We've been doing the follow-up since the show, so it's been very manic. But one of the things that we have come across, which has inspired today's episode, as opposed to tasting any teas, is that while we've been doing the follow-up, we've been sending in prices, as you do when you're tendering for new business. One of these guys, they come back to me and say, look, Valentine, we like your teas, but your prices on one of your products especially, it's like astronomically higher than what one of the other guys have quoted us. And I said, okay, well, which product is it? And he says, it's your Silvertip, it's your white tea. We can't understand why it's so much more than what everyone else is quoting for Ceylon Silvertip white tea. So I said, well, okay, well, tell me what they're quoting. Let me try and compete with that. Let me see what I can do. Let's negotiate. And they say, we don't think you can even come anywhere close. You're so far out. You're not even in the same universe as this price that we've been given from someone else. So I asked them, look, give us the price. Let's see what we can do. They send us the prices, and he's right. We can't do it. We can't even buy it at this price that these guys are offering their Silvertip white tea from Ceylon at. So anyway, we're trying to rack our head around it, and eventually I called the guy back and I said, look, let me come in with my Silvertip. You haven't seen what it tastes like. Get a sample of theirs, and then you taste it there and then, and you tell me you tell me what you think. And I also want to understand, how is it possible that they can get Silvertip at way below the cost of production of what it costs on the estate, minus anything else, minus the shipping, minus the packing, minus paperwork, all that stuff, minus getting it here, getting it to the customer, even lower than at estate. We get there, and what do we see? What I've got here in my left hand, which is probably on the right of the screen, is our Ceylon Silvertip, which is what we sell to Harrods. It's white tea. It's from the 2043 bush. Now, a lot of you who've seen episode, I think, 4 of when we did the water quality in tea would have seen this tea. They would have seen what the cup color looks like. If you want to have a look at episode 4, click the link below. What I've got in my right hand here is a Tippy grade of black tea that is grown in the southern part of the island. Both teas are Ceylon teas. Let's have a look at our white tea first. So this is the tea that we sent to the customer. This is what we quoted, and this is what was 6 times more expensive. This here, my friends, is Silvertip white tea. What is Silvertips and what is white tea? You've got 4 types of tea: white, green, oolong, and black. White tea comes from a particular tea plant. In Sri Lanka, the Silvertip white tea is from the 2043. It's from the 2043 tea bush. It's known as the 2043. It's very distinctive on a plantation. It has a reddish green. Leaf to it. It produces this bud. Produces this silvery white bud. And when we pluck tea, pluck black tea, we're always looking for 2 leaves in a bud. With Silvertip white tea, you're only plucking just this bud. Now, this bud will grow every 7 to 10 days. You're growing this at a higher elevation. It grows down in the low country as well, but the ones that we get are growing at a much higher elevation up in Dimulla, and this is what you're plucking. And it takes 5 kilos of this bud to make 1 kilo of Silvertip white tea. So in terms of production in the country, you're only producing a few hundred kilos of this tea yearly, right across the island. And from that, only a small percentage I would describe as being excellent, minus the black tips to it, minus for the leaf to really be cleaned up. The guys who are producing quality Silvertips are few and far between. And this is what we have here: Silvertip white tea. And I've come across this a few times. If someone is selling you Silvertips and it does not look like this, it is not this bud, do not buy it. It cannot look green. It does not come in a tea bag. I know that Twinings, I'm even going to call them out. I don't even care. You want to sue me. You know, in fact, if someone from Twinings is watching this, call me and tell me how you can put this into a double-chambered tea bag and sell it on the supermarket shelf. What are you going to tell me, that a percentage of it is white tea? Well, can you be a percentage pregnant? You know, you can't be. If it doesn't look like this, don't buy it because it's not Silvertip white tea. What was quoted to this customer, who's now actually a customer of ours, hence why I'm calling him a customer, is this. This is a Tippy grade of tea. This particular grade is Flowery Fanning Special, right? Smaller variety of a Tippy grade of tea. It's tip and it's black tea. This is grown in the low country. It's grown mainly in the low country because you're able to preserve the tip. You notice the golden particle that's littered amongst the black tea. It's grown in the low country because you don't need to use as much pressure on the roller. You're not producing this smaller upcountry grade of BOP, BOPF, and dust. So this is what you call a Tippy grade of tea. Another Tippy grade of tea would be our Flowery Fannings Extra Special from New Vithanakanda, which has a black leaf with green tip inside it. This is not Silvertips. This is a black tea. This is a black tea like our breakfast, like any other black tea, whether it be an OP, a PECO, an FBOP. This is a black tea. It's just a Tippy version of a black tea that has a lot of tip content. It's not a white tea. It's not a Silvertip. Yes, it has tip, but it's not a Silvertip. You know, this is black tea. Do not be hustled. I don't know who's to blame for this. This is probably a case of 1, an unscrupulous exporter in Sri Lanka, 2, individuals getting into the tea industry when they don't even understand about tea. Someone has either sold them this, and they've gone on and sold it, or tried to sell it as Silvertip white tea, or they've outright tried to defraud the customer. I don't know. You guys make your mind up. Only they know. I'm not going to say who the company is. But just know that this is what is happening today in the market, in the tea industry. People are selling this black tea as white tea and trying to pawn it off. And a lot of the customers, they don't know any better. So if you guys are watching this show and you've got some value out of this video, share it out, send it to other people who are tea drinkers, because this is what is killing the industry. You have individuals who are making great white tea who aren't getting the prices that they deserve to be getting, because you have unscrupulous individuals who are taking other products, mocking them up as white tea or whatever it may be, as Darjeeling tea. This happens right across the board. I mean, to give you guys an example, Germany sells more Ceylon tea than Sri Lanka produces, because it's not Ceylon tea. They've just brought tea in from all around the world, added a percentage of Ceylon tea, slapped a label on it, and sent it back out as Ceylon. I mean, like I said to you before, can you be a percentage pregnant? You can't be, you know? So, guys, get the facts, get the know-how, head onto the blog, have a read of the article that we're going to load up today. Have a look at the pictures that are there as well of different grades of Tippy tea, and compare it to the white tea, and you can see the cup color in the white tea on the blog as well. If you found value, hit share, and keep watching the PMD Tea Buyers Club so we can keep bringing you, shows like this that really expose and open up what is good tea and these unscrupulous individuals who try and sell this as white tea. I'm watching you. Thanks for watching. Happy sipping.